Hey YouTube, Audio Olympian back with another video. Today's video we're going to be talking about cables and specifically making your own cable. So if this is your first time visiting our channel, we want to welcome you. Thanks for stopping by. We'd love to see you back. If you found this video entertaining or informative at all, if you could give it a like, thumbs up by hitting that button, we'd really appreciate the support. Don't forget you can also follow us on Instagram at Audio Olympian. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to be going over how I made my own speakers here using this Kimber Cable type speaker wire that I ordered on eBay through China. I got it from China here. I'm going to go over all the details of all of that. Most of the time I don't like to order anything from China only because it takes so long to come in, and the way shipping is now, sometimes you can be months before you receive a product. But I'm going to cover all of that here. I'm not going to take away, I don't want to take away anything from Kimber Cable itself. I do have actual Kimber Cable product line that I've ordered through eBay. They also have a refurbished line that they'll sell on eBay. It's direct through Kimber Cable. I'm going to go over why I chose Kimber Cable. Over the years, I've tried many speaker cables, different interconnects, XLR, wires and cable, just like most of you guys have out there. And I've really come to settle on liking the Kimber Cable look and sound quality here. And I'm going to go over that here in a second with you guys. Okay, here's what I'm going to be using here. And again, this is Kimber Cable type speaker, meaning it has the braiding just like the Kimber Cable brand does. And I'm going to be using these split banana connectors here, which I also got on eBay. I'm going to be putting links to all of this down in the description if any of you guys are interested in taking this project on and doing it again for yourself. Again, here is some of my Kimber Cable interconnects, and then I have some speaker cable here that I actually am using. I just took it out for the video right now. And again, I ordered all of this through eBay. Again, Kimber Cable has eBay store where they'll sell refurbished models or just old and used inventory and stock that they have, which I really appreciate that Kimber Cable is doing that for the average person like you and I. It gives us a chance to be able to get some of their high quality and prestigious product line at fractions of the cost. So this is what we're going to be working on and working with today. Okay, so why Kimber Cable? Well, I like the fact that just because of its design, it automatically brings down its resistance and inductance, which is going to result in better quality sound. Now, I don't have any charts or graphs on that. After you get done watching this video, you can go on over to the Audioholics channel, where the one and only Gene Delasala, who does promote Kimber Cable there on his site, he's got graphs and charts to show you their research and studies that they've done on the Kimber Cable. And this is a cable line that he likes himself. Now, I had always wanted to try Kimber Cable because of its design and the claims that it had for its speaker cables, interconnects, and even XLR cable that they have there. But I'm not a fan of paying very, very high price for cables. And when I'm not sure how they're going to sound or if they're going to make a difference yet. And I know a lot of us are like that out there. So I was always reluctant for a while on pulling the trigger on purchasing some of the Kimber Cable. But I had come across them on eBay. They happen to have an eBay store where they will sell used and refurbished products that they've had. So in the past, stuff that is still really good quality, and you can get it at fractions of the retail cost. So that I appreciate. I love when companies are willing to do that, where they'll take percentages or discounts down to get their product line out to the average person like you and I. One, that shows that they really care about the customers and the consumers. And two, that really shows to me that they believe in their product and they're willing to back it up. The other reason I like the Kimber Cable is the braided design technique here. Now, not only is it going to give you better sound quality, but it's going to allow you to have a thick cable that's equivalent to a very thick heavy duty gauge cable, but it's going to be way more flexible. So it's going to be easier to manage behind your equipment, behind your stands, connected to your amp. If you happen to have to push your speaker up against the wall or push your amp up really close up against the wall, these are going to allow for that flexibility for you to do so. So that's a very convenient, I think, feature that this braided technique allows. For speaker cables and also the interconnects. Look how thin this is, very lightweight. So that means it's also not going to be putting a lot of weight on the connection here for as long as you have the cable, for the lifetime that you have it, right? When you got the big, thick, heavy duty ones, they're always pulling down, the gravity's pulling. So over time, it can become loose. It can make your connection in the amplifier or the speakers a little bit loose over time there, right? And that's not a good thing there. So that's one of the other reasons I like the Kimber cable, is its flexibility. Now, having said all that, let's get to work on putting together this Kimber cable type speaker wire for our system. Okay, so here are the supplies. I have my heat shrink, my wire strippers, banana connectors, and the cable. So what I'm going to have to do first is split this out and get one side copper and one side white. So this way I know which one is my hot and negative, positive and negative. As you can see here, like on the actual Kimber cable, so I'm going to have to split it out probably good 6-7 inches here, and then put the heat shrink on and then connect it over here into the banana connectors, which are very, very easy to do. I'm just going to need, let me back that up here a little bit more. Went a little too fast for you. I'm trying to get that in focus for you. So from here, just use a, I don't know, torque Allen wrench, something like that there, to tighten the edges. But I got these mostly because if you can kind of see that size there of the end, you can put a lot of a big thick gauge wire in there. Whereas most of your other ones, even like these, you're only going to be able to put so thick of a gauge of wire in here. Being that I have this 12 TC type wire, a lot of strands in there, so I wanted to be able to have an end that could take all the wires very easily, and it's going to be able to hold its position for a long time. So once I strip the wires, place them in there, screw it down, and then I have my speaker end set up. So let's do it. Okay, so here's the finished product. As you can see, you guys, it looks exactly like Kimber Cable's 12 TC, right? And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a demo here of Dolby Atmos track at the end here. You can just see it still carries the signal very, very well, strong and good. I believe probably doing the same job that a Kimber cable does. But I did this here just because I wanted to save a few dollars. And I would say the most work that was involved was separating the wires here, and not on this side here, on the other side that I plug into my amplifiers. That I had to separate down about 12 inches because the terminals on the XPA2s, my Emotiva XPA2 amps, are really far apart when you bridge it. So they're basically on one end, each end of the amplifier there. So about 12 inches, I had to separate it down. And then I had to strip all the wires. So again, not very hard, just time consuming to strip those wires there. 24 wires on each side of the speaker cable. So 48 wires per cable. Take that times 2 for the 2 cables that I'm using, or that I put together here. And that was 96 wires that needed to be stripped. Again, not hard work, just very time consuming. And then, but you also did have to make sure you stripped enough and not too long so that the wires can fit in the terminal here in the banana connector and still have enough room to be able to fit the heat shrink in there and cover everything, because you don't want any wires exposed here. Ideally, I would have rather had my heat shrink to go over even the casing and the housing right here, but for the heat shrink that I had, it just wasn't going to be feasible for me. But good enough. I've been using this now for months, and it sounds great, looks great. I'm happy with the quality, happy with the design. So there you have it, you guys. If there's something that you wanted to put a little project in and get some better quality sound and connection for yourself here, you guys can go ahead and assemble your own Kimber Cable speaker wire. Or I should say, assemble your own Kimber Cable speaker cables. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. And you can check out that demo here in a second. I'll see you on the next video.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene,
Come on, you guys, let's go.
or captures the full extent of nature's fury.